The guard at the gate. He prayed the same words over and over. A desperate mantra sent into the darkness. Lord, give me peace. But the words felt hollow, echoing back in the suffocating silence. He loved Jesus, but fear was the king of his heart. Even David knew fear, Gideon reasoned. But he faced giants and lions. Gideon's giants were invisible, living inside his own head. He felt ashamed of failure in faith. He wondered if God had finally grown tired of his weakness and walked away. One night, in the deepest hour of his struggle, his trembling hands opened his Bible. The pages fell open to a verse he had read 100 times. But tonight the words seemed to lift off the page. Philippians chapter 4, verse 6. Do not be anxious about anything. The command felt impossible, cruel, even anything. His heart screamed, surely not this. Not this crushing weight, this constant storm. Doubt whispered that this promise was for stronger people, for better believers. The desperation was a powerful motivator. He decided to try to treat the verse not as a platitude, but as a battle plan. He started with the first terrifying step. To name his enemy, I'm afraid. He whispered into the quiet room of failing. The next step was honesty. No more polite, tidy prayers. He fell to his knees and let the raw, messy truth spill out. He told God he was angry, terrified, and felt utterly alone. The words were choked with tears. He didn't know he had left to cry. Then came the petition. Instead of a vague plea for peace, he made a bold request. God, this fear of failure, it is too heavy for me. I'm asking you to take it. I cannot carry it another step. The fourth step felt like the highest mountain. Thanksgiving in the middle of the storm. What was there to be thankful for? He started small. Thank you for the floor beneath my knees. Thank you for the air in my lungs. Thank you that you are still listening. The final step was release, to truly hand it over. Gideon closed his eyes and pictured placing the heavy, jagged stone of his anxiety into God's hands, uncurling his fingers and letting go. It is yours now, he breathed. Peace did not come like a tidal wave. The battle wasn't won in a single night. Some nights the shadows crept back in, and Gideon would stumble through the 5 steps again, his voice trembling. It was a fight he had to choose to fight. Again and again. But slowly, gradually, something began to change. A moment of quiet in his mind, a loosening in the tight knot in his chest. It was not a loud victory, but a quiet truce in the long war. He read the rest of the promise, and the words sank deep into his soul. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Guard the word took root in his heart. He imagined it not a wall to keep all feelings out, but a protector, a strong, calm soldier of light, standing watch at the very gate of his heart. The soldier didn't make the worries disappear. Gideon could still see them, like a defeated army on a distant hill, but they could no longer storm the gates. They could no longer rush in and take him captive. The guard would not let them pass. He felt a shift deep within him. The invisible chains of fear that had bound him for so long, the ones he saw in his reflection, grew brittle with a sound like shattering glass. They cracked and dissolved into harmless dust. One morning, Gideon woke before his alarm. He lay still, waiting for the familiar wave of dread to wash over him, but it never came. The room was not filled with fear, but with the soft, gentle colors of the dawn. He took a deep, easy breath. Tears began to flow down his cheeks, but for the first time in a long time, they were not tears of sorrow or fear. They were tears of relief, a quiet, cleansing river of gratitude. Anxiety no longer owned him. God's peace was now the king of his heart. He finally understood. The peace of God was not the absence of trouble, but the presence of God in the trouble. The storms of life might still rage outside the city walls, but the guard at the gate of his heart would not falter. He was safe. Gideon lay back, bathed in the morning light, feeling a peace that truly surpassed all understanding. He closed his eyes, and whispered the promise that was now his reality. The peace of God will guard my heart and mind forever.